Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The day of Eid, Yawm An-Nahr. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and Eid Mubarak for you and all your family. Today, inshallah, we're going to talk about the virtues of that day. The day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran and mentioned in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sunnah. And also, did you know that the greatest day of the year, not actually the day of Arafah, however, we're talking about the virtue and how righteous and how holy that day is and how sacred it is. And it's not a day of Arafah, it's actually Yawm An-Nahr, Yawm al-Eid, the day of sacrifice. So I mean, in that kind of episode, we're going to talk about the virtues of that and how much connected that story of the Prophet Ibrahim or Prophet Ismail sacrifice to that day. So obviously, when you think about the day of sacrifice, Yawm An-Nahr, it's the day that's full and loaded with rituals of Islam. And that's the day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is witnessing all the angels to see, the servants of Allah. Everyone is getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can find people on the other side there making Allahu Akbar, making takbeer right from the Fajr prayer. And that day, people start making takbeerat after each prayer, as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us. Not only that, everyone is really getting prepared to make sure to have a sacrifice after the Eid prayer. So we have the Eid prayer, we all get connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remembering His reward and remembering His virtue subhanahu wa ta'ala and His blessing that made you always be alive here. And again, spread and experience such a great moment. And the day of sacrifice as well is loaded with all things. People in Hajj, don't forget it, people in Mecca already in pilgrimage. That day they're having a lot of rituals like al-halq, al-taqsir, trimming and shaving their heads, getting closer and back to Allah, getting pure as basically they were born from their mom, back again, born baby again, no sins, subhanallah. So you're shaving your hair, trimming also your hair, your mustache, and also for women, they're sharing that, they're trimming or shaving like that kind of like fingertips length of their hair. Everyone is getting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, making the tawaf, making stuff like that. Also making the pebble, stoning, throwing and remembering the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and following the sunnah or the prophetic tradition of the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. All of that you're going to find the day, Yawm An-Nahr, in the day of sacrifice. So the day of sacrifice, it's loaded with ibadat. Loaded with ibadat. Here and there, making salawat, making takbeer. The day is so full of Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamd. That day we shouldn't be really missing. We all have to be well prepared for it. Sharing the happiness, increasing the happiness, the joy among your family. Increase the family kinship, visiting here your son and your cousin and your brother, your daughter, everyone. Make sure to always increase in the family kinship. And you know, one of the habits, which is not actually a bid'ah, and one of the traditional things among a lot of nations, not only Egyptians and Arabs, even in Pakistan, they send the Eidi, like that amount of money. It's like a type of gift. It's making it to share the happiness. Do that and make sure to always, in every step of your way, to share happiness and remind people about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and their obedience. هذا اليوم يوم عيدكم, as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and that is the best day. أفضل أيامكم يوم النحر ويوم القر كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. Make sure to earn the best reward as much as you can. And one more last thing I want to say. A lot of people tend in this day, and that's innovation bid'ah, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam prohibited. Some people tend actually to go and visit the graves and start remembering their sorrow and their bad moments and the time of sorrow, the time of loss and the time of missings. Well, I'm not telling you not to remember your parents, remember your beloved ones that they passed away. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on everyone deceased, Muslim, Allahumma ameen. But that's not actually the day of it. Because in those days, as the Prophet ﷺ said, يعني عندنا عيدان يوم الفطر ويوم النحر عيد الفطر وعيد الأضحى. Those 2 days or those 2 Eids, you make sure to increase the happiness and share it as much as you can. And I'm not telling you to forget them. You could still remember them in your du'as, in your prayers. After each prayer, make the takbirat, and after you finish the takbir, make du'as for them. Make sure to always be happy among your family. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us more and let us more experience those days and ayyamullahi azza wa jalla, mali'a bil-ta'a, full of obedience of Him and His worship, Jazakumullah khairan. Eid Mubarak for you and your family. Jazakumullah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.